118 days, $1 billion, and a community of supporters who are giving thanks to two special people this morning. Duncan Crabtree, Ireland, and SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher, who joins us live this morning. Good morning, President Drescher.
Good morning. God, I wish I had your energy.
Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, I am guessing that you had maybe 117 sleepless nights. But were you able to rest your head in a relaxed way last night? How did you celebrate? I mean, this is a historic deal, or should I say herhistoric?
You know, I was on the Zoom yesterday when we passed this contract without objection, which in itself historic.
Unanimous.
And after, you know, we all cried and had this amazing moment of release and relief. I went to my local restaurant, and when we paid the bill, they said, yours is going to be the last 25% discount because of the strike.
Wow, nice.
So it was like so amazing to come full circle like that. And then I came home and we dealt with what the press was going to be for today. And then I went to bed and I did rest my head on my pillow in a much more peaceful way than I have in many months.
Of course. Now we celebrated last night. We're talking about this today. But what are the next steps for the union? I mean, are actors allowed now to promote their work? When will this be signed, sealed, delivered?
Well, I can have Duncan answer that. I mean, I don't want to misspeak. So let's hear what he has to say about it.
Okay, I'll check in with Duncan. The AI.
Oh, he's not.
He's not here.
Right now.
No, he's not here. It's just you and me, girl.
Oh, okay. Well, then I can tell you. I just didn't want to hog the whole interview.
No, but if you want to answer, when do you see this being signed?
No, I can answer. Wait, something just fell in my eye. I don't know what it is, but anyway, yes. Tomorrow morning we're going to have our board meeting. And I fully expect that to be unanimously in favor of this contract. And then after that, we will await our entire member body to ratify the contract. Now, we did agree that people can go back to work and we don't have to wait for the, actual ratification to finish up. And so I was on the phone with Emma Stone yesterday, who's got a movie coming out, and I understand she's great in it. And now now you can go to your premiere.
Yeah, you can go to your premiere. You can post about it on social media. Fran, I know that the AI protections, that was key to getting this deal done. How did you and the AMPTP meet in the middle on this hot button issue?
Well, I think that, they understood that we were at a point historically where it was essential that the contract have language in it that has never been in the contract before. And we had our experts that were constantly with us every step of the way, advising us, as did they, by the way. But they understood in the 11th hour that whole proposal had to be in place or it was going to be a deal breaker. And we were quite serious about that. And they heard us and they met the moment. And, in the world of AI, 3 months equals a year. So it was imperative that what needed to be put into that contract could not wait another 3 years, or we'd be chasing something that was always out of our reach.
Absolutely. I know we have better pay. There's going to be some better health benefits, and now we have the AI protections. 118.
Yeah, well, we carved new inroads all over the place. And it's the largest contract
That's right.
in our industry's history. I mean, we passed the $1 billion mark with it.
You did.
And our, lowest paid people in the union who are our background have never had such a good deal.
That's right.
And never felt so represented as with this contract. So I'm very, very proud of that.
You should be proud. I want to read you some of the comments under your latest Instagram post, okay, regarding the strike being over. Here are 3 that stood out. And that's because you have style, you have flair, and you were there. A little nod to the nanny. Then there's another one that says, nobody puts nanny in the corner. And this one got over 100 likes. Bleep artificial intelligence, humans for life. I want to bring in my other humans that sit next to me every day on the desk. We have Jen and Melvin, who have been reporting on this strike as well. We were talking about you being a modern-day Norma Rae.
Yeah, Fran, first of all, congratulations on getting this deal done. A lot of people have applauded you for the way you handled yourself at the negotiating table. Can you kind of talk about what the temperature was like in that room with the heads of all the studios? That's an enormous amount of pressure for someone to be under.
Well, first of all, I needed to just be who I am, to be me in that room and present myself as I am. And I'm a Buddhist, and sometimes I read Buddhist wisdom to them. Sometimes I had, I always had my little plushy heart.
Yes, yeah. On social.
Bob Iger, yes.
There it is.
And I always tried to put into context how important what we're both doing, both sides of the table, are doing for this moment and how it's going to impact the future. And so I think that they weren't expecting all that I am. My friends knew that I would bring this all the way to the finish line and do it well. But other people, I think, underestimated me, and that's okay. And I've never really been in the position where being a woman leader gets under such scrutiny. In contrast to my counterpart, Duncan Crabtree Island, who, they never talked about him in the way that they talked about me. That's obviously, a low-hanging fruit ploy to discredit the woman leader. But I turned it into a women and girls movement and tried to exemplify that I don't need to, I don't need to project a male energy to lead. I can lead with intelligence and wisdom and empathy, and I could be me.
Yes.
And that's what I did. And so whatever slings and arrows may have been thrown at me, I turned it around and used it as an opportunity to try and carve new inroads, as we successfully did in the contract itself. And there is so much language in this contract that never was there before. And that was extremely important, including opening up new streams of revenue that was never there before.
That's right, with streaming.
And so, it's something that I think I'll be very proud of for as long as I live.
For many lifetimes. Give me a yellow background and some muscles. We, Fran, do it.
That's right.
Thank you, Fran.
You so much for coming on. President Fran Drescher, after 118 days, the strike is over. Thank you so much for joining us live this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And we will be right back.